This is George Bush.
Can you believe what just happened? George Bush Sr. casually steps up to the mic and goes, "Hey, remember me? I was your president from 1989 to 1993. Just like that, he's pulling us right back into the early 90s. His voice has that unmistakable tone. You know, the one you've heard a million times on TV. He's setting the mood. And honestly, it's kinda surreal to watch him play it so cool. And believe me, this ride is just getting started.
I was your president from 1989 to 1993. And during that time, Saturday Night Live made fun of me on a fairly regular basis.
Now that was something else. Bush Sr. doesn't waste time and jumps straight into it. Yeah, SNL made fun of him, like, a lot. It's one of those moments where you're thinking, wow, he's really embracing the roast culture before it was cool. You can feel the self-awareness here, and it's kind of refreshing. He's rolling with it, and honestly, it makes the whole thing way more fun to watch. But hang tight, there's more to come.
Do I have any hard feelings about that? Yes, I do.
Did you catch that? He flat out admits that, yeah, it stung a bit. Being made fun of on national TV every week probably doesn't feel great. But the way he says it, with that mix of honesty and humor, it's like he's giving us a peek behind the curtain. You don't usually get to see a former president get this real, and it's kind of awesome. Trust me, it's about to get even better.
And I'll have my revenge when the time is right. Not now. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Talk about perfect timing. With a cheeky grin, he promises revenge. Not right away, of course, because you know it wouldn't be prudent at this moment. That line is classic Bush Sr., and the audience eats it up. He's wrapping it up with style, leaving us smiling and thinking, man, this guy knows how to end on a high note. Stick around. You're gonna love what's next.
Tune in if you like, no pressure, whatever. It's like walking on the beach, yeah.
That was unreal. This opening had me laughing right away. Jack Johnson, played hilariously by Andy Samberg, kicks off the Mellow Show with such a laid-back vibe that it feels like the entire skit is happening in slow motion. He casually drops words like cargo shorts and ultimate frisbee, as if those are essential to being mellow, while a chill little tune plays in the background. Everything about this screams, we're way too relaxed to care about anything. And if you think that intro was funny, just wait. Things are about to get way more ridiculous.
The very mellow Dave Matthews. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Hi.
Ultimate Frisbee. Before we get started, a quick announcement. Be on the lookout for Ziggy, my escaped pet gecko in a fleece jester hat.
Wow, things got ridiculous fast. Bill Hader, doing his spot-on impression of Dave Matthews, joins the show and immediately starts throwing in random words like barefooted crime and ultimate frisbee, as if they're totally normal parts of conversation. Then Jack casually announces that his pet gecko, Ziggy, who can apparently roll and smoke doobies, has gone missing, which perfectly sums up how absurd this skit is going to be. The way Hader plays Matthews, with all the exaggerated weirdness, makes it impossible not to laugh. Honestly, if you thought this was weird, just wait until Dave starts singing.
I got a chicken panini. Hey, 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 hey. Chicken panini. Hey, 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 hey.
That was insane. I couldn't stop laughing during this part. Dave Matthews, Hader, launches into a bizarre song called Chicken Panini, complete with over-the-top, drawn-out, hey, hey! Vocals that sound exactly like Matthews' real-life style, but turned up to 11. The lyrics make absolutely no sense, with random food items like toast and bananas thrown in, but somehow it works because Hader is so committed to the bit. The whole thing is so ridiculous you can't help but wonder how they didn't crack up while filming. And just when you think it's over, things take another hilarious turn.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Vegan cookies. So, Jason, what have you been up to?
Oh, the usual, maintaining my avocado farm and making music for girls and...
Wow, Jason's entrance was comedy gold. This was too good. Jason Mraz, played by Taran Killam, strolls in with peak mellow energy, immediately talking about avocado farming and scatting, like it's the most normal thing ever. He and Jack have a goofy little moment where they joke about how scatting is perfect when you're too chill to bother writing real lyrics. Killam nails the whole mellow musician who takes himself way too seriously vibe, and it's impossible not to laugh. And if you thought his intro was funny, wait until you hear his fedora song.
I wanna look good, so I went to the hat store. I looked at a bunch of really cool fedoras. I put one on my head.
This was next-level ridiculous. I loved every second of it. Jason performs his new song about buying fedoras, and the lyrics are as absurd as you'd expect, with lines about picking out hats and looking good. Jack enthusiastically praises the song by comparing it to drinking a frosty horchata, keeping up the goofy, nonsensical humor. The whole thing feels like a parody of those ultra-chill musicians who sing about everyday stuff like it's the deepest poetry ever. And yeah, if you thought the fedora song was weird, Jack's next announcement will have you cracking up even more.
Look out for my pet ferret, Mr. Coconut. You'll know him by his Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses. And of course, he can roll and smoke doobies.
Wow, that announcement came out of nowhere, and it was hilarious. Jack casually drops another random announcement, this time about his missing pet ferret, Mr. Coconut, who apparently wears a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses. Oh, and like the gecko, Mr. Coconut can also roll and smoke doobies, which is just another layer of absurdity. The randomness keeps piling up, and it's impossible not to laugh at how seriously Jack delivers these bizarre updates. And if you thought this was over the top, Ozzy's entrance takes things to a whole new level.
Mr. Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, Ozzy's entrance was completely unexpected, and it was hilarious. Ozzy Osbourne, played by Dave Matthews, shuffles onto the set, mumbling about how he's mellowed out over the years, even though half of what he's saying is unintelligible. He then performs a hilariously lazy-sounding song called I Am Tired Man, which includes random lines about eating kettle corn and taking it easy. Jack wraps up the performance by joking that Ozzy might have scared Dave Matthews, which honestly wouldn't be surprising given how bizarre this whole skit is. And if you think that's where the craziness ends, you're wrong.
One last announcement. Keep your eyes peeled for my pet Komodo dragon, Professor Munchie. Note his trademark fedora and Tiva sports sandals.
Wow, what an ending. This whole thing was chaos from start to finish. Jack wraps things up with one final announcement about his missing pet Komodo dragon, Professor Munchie, who apparently wears a fedora and Tiva sandals, and sells weed laced with PCP. The fact that Jack delivers this line with complete seriousness makes it 10 times funnier. He then signs off with a mellow farewell. Hemp necklace, goodbye. Honestly, this skit was so ridiculous, and somehow it worked perfectly. This was such a wild and funny way to start things. Total chaos right from the jump. Vanessa Bayer, doing a spot-on impression of Miley Cyrus, kicks off The Miley Cyrus Show with a hyper-energetic intro, complete with her signature over-the-top smile and exaggerated accent. She keeps repeating how pretty cool everything is, and it's so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh. The whole thing feels like a parody of Miley's upbeat personality taken to the extreme. If this is how it starts, you know it's only going to get crazier from here.
Up the Miley Cyrus band over here, we got my dad, Billy Ray Cyrus.
You are so special, baby girl.
Wow, that was both random and hilarious. Miley's dad, played by Jason Sudeikis, chimes in with a heartfelt but awkward line about how special she is, and Miley immediately brushes him off with a classic teen attitude. Their weird father-daughter dynamic adds a goofy layer to the skit, making it clear that this isn't just about Miley. It's about turning everything around her into pure comedy. It's such a weird moment, but somehow it works perfectly. And just when you think it couldn't get funnier, Miley jumps right into her celebrity impression.
Hey, so I'm like the star of 2.5 Men. and I'm completely crazy, and I've done a bunch of interviews lately and all of that, and I'm Charlie Sheen, y'all!
That impression was so over the top, but it was absolutely hilarious. Miley dives into a wild impersonation of Charlie Sheen during his infamous meltdown phase, throwing out random Sheenisms like winning and mimicking his chaotic energy. The way Vanessa Bayer exaggerates Miley's already bubbly personality while trying to act like Sheen makes the whole thing 10 times funnier. After she finishes, her dad compares her to Daryl Hammond, and Miley smugly declares her impression as pretty money. Honestly, if you thought that was funny, wait till you see who she brings on next.
It's a cool show.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So, Justin, what have you been up to lately?
You know, I'm just chilling right now.
Now this guest entrance was comedy gold. Miley introduces her special guest, Justin Bieber, played by none other than Miley herself, rocking Bieber's classic hoodie, hair swoop, and cocky attitude. The moment Bieber, Miley walks in and casually says, "Cool show." You know this is going to be ridiculous in the best way possible. The fact that Miley is playing Bieber just makes it even funnier because you can tell she's having way too much fun with it.
Wink, cocky nod, point.
Wow. Justin Bieber, where do you get all of those cool moves?
This part had me laughing nonstop. When Miley asks Bieber how he got his cool moves, Bieber responds by introducing his swagger coach, played by Taran Killam, who shows up looking completely serious despite the absurdity of it all. Bieber then casually brags about his image change and proudly mentions that he now does the middle finger, like that's some huge accomplishment. The swagger coach bit combined with Bieber's smug attitude makes this scene so over the top, it's impossible not to crack up. And just when you think things can't get sillier, Miley drops an awkward flashback on us.
We actually have a picture from that day. Can we show it?
Okay, that flashback moment was both awkward and hilarious. Miley talks about how she knew Bieber was destined for stardom back in 2006, and they show a ridiculously staged picture of the two of them together from that time. The whole thing is so obviously fake, but Miley's goofy commentary and constant pretty cool remarks make it work. It's one of those moments where you can't tell if it's supposed to be serious or just totally absurd, which makes it even funnier. And if you thought that was weird, wait until you hear the questions Miley throws at Bieber.
What is your favorite album, and what is Canada like, and do you speak Canadian, and does Usher have to seat people at his own concerts because he's an usher, and do you really never say never, and have you gone through puberty?
This part was pure chaos, but it was hilarious. Miley starts bombarding Bieber with a rapid-fire list of ridiculous questions, asking things like whether he speaks Canadian, whether Usher works as an usher at his own concerts, and whether he's gone through puberty. Bieber's exaggerated response, complete with a wink and a smug grin, perfectly sells the scene. The randomness of Miley's questions is what makes this whole bit so funny. And believe me, things aren't slowing down yet. There's still a 3D movie clip to come.
Wait. Hey, Miley. How's my little angel baby?
Oh my God. This is like so insightful because I'm just a baby, but I'm already like so talented and stuff like that.
That 3D movie clip was so ridiculous, but somehow it was perfect. Miley introduces a fake 3D movie about her life, featuring a baby version of herself talking about how talented she already is while throwing in phrases like super cool and goo goo gaga in 3D. The clip is filled with over-the-top baby voice acting and absurd dialogue, making it so silly that it's hard not to laugh. The whole thing feels like a parody of those overly dramatic pop star biopics. And if you thought that was funny, wait till you hear how they end the show.
Well, that's our show, everybody. Come on, Justin, hit it, Dad. I got gas and a show, and we're ready to go.
Now that was the perfect ending to such a chaotic skit. Miley wraps things up by thanking everyone and breaking into a final song with Bieber, where they both sing the goofy intro tune again while repeating "pretty cool" over and over. The running joke about everything being pretty cool throughout the skit ties the whole thing together and leaves you laughing even after it's over. It's one of those SNL skits that's so random and silly, it works perfectly. Honestly, what a way to end it on a high note.